In recent days, as America has been swept into a wave of new political controversies, reports have emerged that U.S. service members were forced to watch a film about Melania Trump as a mandatory activity within the military. According to complaints that have been filed, many service members said they were compelled to attend, given no choice, and not allowed to refuse. A film that clearly glorifies Melania Trump was inserted into a military setting, an institution that is supposed to remain politically neutral, and turned into a tool of propaganda. This immediately prompted organizations that defend religious freedom and civil rights within the military to step in. The problem is not just the film itself, the problem is the precedent. When the military, one of the most powerful institutions of the state, is pulled into serving the image of a president's family, the line between the nation and the individual begins to blur. For many service members, this is no longer a matter of entertainment or culture, but a sign of a crude and aggressive politicization of power. At the same time as the controversy inside the military, on another front, Donald Trump is carrying out a campaign that has provoked no less outrage, extracting money directly from his own supporters. Waves of emails have been sent under the labels of surveys, opinion polls, or even emotionally charged personal messages written as if Trump were speaking directly to each individual recipient. Behind those words, however, is a carefully engineered mechanism. With just a single click on an option, or the confirmation of a small box that appears harmless, recipients can unknowingly trigger automatic payments, even recurring donations with amounts that gradually increase over time. Many only realize what happened after their bank accounts have been charged multiple times. The targets are not financial elites, but primarily older supporters, people who are less familiar with technology but possess a high level of political loyalty. This is no longer ordinary political fundraising. It is a model widely criticized as systematic exploitation, one that takes advantage of trust, emotion, and blind loyalty. What is especially striking is that while Trump constantly claims to represent the forgotten people, it is precisely these people who are being turned into a source of financial extraction. Instead of protecting them, Trump transforms them into a steady revenue stream serving his personal and political goals. Donald Trump does not just make money from emails or fundraising drives, he makes money directly from presidential power. According to published estimates, Trump and his family earned nearly $4 billion in just 1 year through activities, deals, and benefits tied to the presidency. This figure renders any justification about serving the public essentially hollow. Meanwhile, Trump continues to solicit donations for projects of a personal nature, from a ballroom to various initiatives at the Kennedy Center, even during a government shutdown, a crisis caused by political decisions themselves. Trump did not use his own money to pay the salaries of service members, people who continue to serve the country every single day. This contrast lays bare a clear reality. The promise to drain the swamp has completely collapsed. Instead of fighting profiteering elites, Trump has become the center of a new profiteering system, one in which political power is converted into personal financial gain. And when looking at the full picture, from the politicization of the military to service members being forced to watch a film glorifying Melania, to supporters being turned into cash machines, to the enormous wealth accumulated by the Trump family, one unavoidable question emerges: is this still a government or merely a political business run on the machinery of state power? Donald Trump has officially filed a lawsuit against the IRS, objecting to the release of his tax returns for the years 2019 and 2020. The amount Trump is demanding is not a few million, not a few hundred million, but $10 billion US, a figure large enough to immediately raise the question: if Trump wins, where will this money come from? The answer is very clear from the general funds of the Treasury Department, that is, from U.S. taxpayers, not from the IRS, not from any specific individual or organization, but from society as a whole. Trump claims that if he wins the lawsuit, he will donate the money to charity, but like many similar statements in the past, there is no verifiable evidence behind this promise. No plan, no oversight mechanism, no legal obligation, just words made at a time when public trust in Trump has already been severely eroded. But the IRS lawsuit is only one piece of the puzzle. The next piece is even more symbolic and just as infuriating. Donald Trump accepted a Boeing 747 from Qatar with an estimated value of around 400 million US dollars. On paper, it is described as a gift. In reality, this gift is anything but free. Security experts estimate that the cost of upgrades and security maintenance required to bring the aircraft up to presidential standards could reach as much as 1 billion US dollars. 1 billion US dollars. US taxpayer money. And all of this is happening while the labor economy is sliding into serious decline. January 2026 recorded more than 108,000 layoffs, the highest number since the 2009 financial crisis. Compared to the same period the previous year, the number of job losses doubled. Compared to the end of 2025, it tripled. This is not a minor fluctuation. This is a red alert for the economy. Tens of thousands of families have lost income. Tens of thousands of people have been pushed into instability. Yet Donald Trump continues to appear before the public and claim that America is the hottest in the world. That no one thought this could happen.
We're the hottest country in the world right now.
We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible.
The gap between political rhetoric and lived reality has never been wider. On one side are the cold layoff numbers, on the other are unverified self-congratulatory claims, and in between stand the American people, those who face the risk of losing their jobs while also facing the risk of having their tax money used to cover lawsuits and the personal interests of the president. When all of these pieces are placed side by side, the 10 billion US dollar IRS lawsuit, the Qatar aircraft that could cost billions of dollars in US taxpayer money, and the largest wave of layoffs in more than a decade, a clear pattern begins to emerge. These are not isolated incidents. This is a system. A system in which political power is used to protect personal interests. A system in which the Republican Party functions as a shield. And a system in which the American people are repeatedly asked to make sacrifices, while Trump and his family continue to benefit.